Welcome everybody to another edition of Monsoon Live right here on YouTube. I'm your host, Jeffrey Monsoon Mysick, and here's a great interview that we just did on Skype. Alright, well, today my guest is of course via the Skype world. It is the owners of the World Domination Wrestling Alliance out of Berkeley, West Virginia, Berkeley Springs, correct?
Yes.
West Virginia, the Latin Tornado, and his wonderful wife. Guys, thank you for joining us. So, let's get right to this. So when Eric Shea, who represents Off the Chain Wrestling, he was talking about the other company in Berkeley. So, you're here to represent the other company. What were the allegations that Shea made?
We got a message from another wrestler
About the interview.
He said, "Did you watch this?" I'm like, "Watch what?" I'm like, "Shea just did an interview for these people." I said, so he sent me the link, your link.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, I just sat through it, and it's just like I just hear.
I guess we were kind of just surprised more than anything.
Surprised, and also, you know, it's easy to blame something on somebody when you're not there to defend yourself.
Okay.
And that's where I decided, we decided, we gotta contact this person because obviously he doesn't know the story. So.
What were them? I would like to hear them in your own words, the allegations that Shea said.
He said that, the other, there's only two of us. There's Off the Chain and us.
Mm-hmm.
So we're the other people. And he said that, we steal his wrestlers, we rip up his posters, that we just, I think that was the main thing. I don't really remember.
Stealing his wrestlers and ripping on his posters. Well, that's so funny because I'm not gonna blame anybody.
Mm-hmm.
But we have posters at our ticket outlet at Dairy Queen, and 3 times before our last show, the posters were ripped to a point where they set up a camera to see they catch the person.
Yeah.
We're not gonna blame anybody. It could have been somebody
just,
else, so we don't know.
It's easy to say things, but we don't like to badmouth other promoters because we use a lot of other promoters. They actually are part of our shows.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you say something, if you're going to say it, don't say it in meanness, say it because it's happening and show proof.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. Are these wrestlers under contract exclusively with one company? Because I know up here, I know a couple guys that wrestle multiple companies.
Yeah,
in PA, New
as
Jersey.
it should be.
Yeah.
They're independent workers.
Yeah, wrestlers need the jobs. If they were just to do our show, it's once a month. They're not gonna, that's nothing. But I know he said that he has all of his wrestlers are only with him, and that they have told him, we'll never wrestle for them. We're loyal to you, but yet, and I've sent you the proof from, like, he said Nyla Rose. She never told us she wouldn't wrestle for us. She never said I'm loyal to, Shea. She does have a verbal contract with him, but she never told us, the things that he said. Just like he said, all his wrestlers are just with him, but yet, CEO, AC Wolf, you've seen,
Mm-hmm.
they've been at our show, so obviously it's not the case. And to me, it's just not good business to put it out there like that, especially because you hurt your wrestler. Other promoters are thinking, oh, he's just with him? Well, I just won't bother.
Well, because of what is said and what's going on there, has there been any consequences that has affected you guys as a business since the interview that was aired a couple weeks ago?
I don't think it's affected us as far as our fans coming to our shows. We do, like our first show was 131 people. Our second show was 137, and that was because there was another show going on at the same time. So it may have been more, who knows. But, me getting, I've actually been I guess I've had the finger in my face in a parking lot of a gas station, and a man raising his voice who was his silent partner saying, not his exact words, but what he said, because I'm not going to say what his exact words was. You should know better than put your poster up where our posters are. That's where our posters go, and it's like, to us, we're like,
a business can do whatever they do.
Business can do whatever they want to do,
yeah.
Right?
See, we don't ask the business for money.
Mm-hmm.
Or I ask them is if they put our posters up, their name and address go into our program just like this.
Okay.
And we don't charge them nothing.
So we advertise for them.
We advertise.
Nice.
So this is something we're trying to get the community together. If you want to say it that way.
Okay.
The business with customers.
Berkeley Springs is a historical town, and it's like the tourist trap. So it's got a lot of small businesses, and you can't ask small businesses to give when, a lot of them are struggling themselves. So our point is, just put our poster up. We'll advertise for you. Sell our tickets. We'll give you, so much money for every ticket sold.
Yeah.
And then, of course, our ticket prices are very reasonable for the people in that area also.
Well, that's what I wanted to ask you. What is Berkeley Springs like? You're talking about a tourist trap. Is there a lot of historical stuff around you guys?
Yes, because we live in Hancock, and it's the same thing. Lots of historical stuff. There's always something going, like a parade, anything historical. They have the apple butter festivals.
You got the river here, the Potomac River.
Yeah.
You can go kayaking. You can go.
There's
awesome. A lot of stuff if you like outdoors. There's a lot of stuff.
And we live on top of the hill, so we have a view of everything. We see the river. We have our kayaks. Come on over if you want to go kayak.
Those who know how I kayak know we have video of me trying to kayak, and it's been not pretty.
We're novices too. We have the kayaks that don't tip, because I got in one of those and it wasn't good.
Tough kayaks.
Hey, this is Michael, the executive producer. Quick question. So is Berkeley Springs a large community or is it a smaller community? Can it support two different federations? It seems like you guys are having good sales.
Yeah.
It can, just because, when we first started, what had happened, he's been a wrestler for 24 years and he got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
To where the doctor says, you really need to stop. So I've run some businesses and I own some businesses, and I thought, you talked about doing a promotion, would you like to do it? And the first place we thought it was Berkeley Springs, because he wrestled for Cody Pro, which is also Berkeley Springs.
As well as Shay.
Yeah.
As well as Shay. And the fans there are great, and they're constant. Like, usually when you build up, you always get that same amount. They're all like crazy for it. They all come up and tell you how great you've done afterwards. They're very vocal, what they like, they don't like. That's where we wanted to be. Whether that it can support the two, I think our wrestling show is just totally different from his. So that's where it lies. Do they prefer this way? Do they prefer that way? That's up to the fans.
But
We're more into traditional, old school. If you look at the old NWA,
sure,
storylines.
Right.
We like storylines.
So there's two different kind of federations then, two different styles of shows.
Yeah.
You guys aren't competing on the same night, are you?
No.
No, actually, as soon as we knew we were going to do it, we told Shay. And he said, great, if you find a place, I'll come wrestle for you. Well, at that time, before that, they'd want us to go in with them, and we didn't want to do that just because of the way I do business.
Mm-hmm.
And he was fine with it. He goes, well, if you do find a venue, I'll come wrestle for you. Well, he had a problem finding a venue, and he ended up doing it outside, whereas we not only found a couple venues, we had somebody that wanted to sign us for a year contract.
Okay.
And if we were going to do it every other month, they wanted to do us every month. So that's what we went with. We had all of our dates pre-selected. As soon as we got our dates, we sent them to Shay. And after that, it just all went down.
Well, you got all the tested. You got all the tests.
And you have all the tests.
Yeah, and I would like for you maybe to share with our audience right now, maybe if you want to, some of that you've sent me, just some of the stuff, because our audience wants to know, like, how did this whole, like, why is Shay saying those things, and then
we don't know why. We just kind of have it, and we've heard from other people, and we don't like to go by that. So what we feel is he didn't have a good venue. We found a really great venue and got contracted. And then when we had our first show, he contacted somebody that was at the show and said, they came to us and said he wanted to know how many people were at the show, and I told him, and he was not believing in that, and he was angry. And it just has gone from there. It's just, and it's not necessary. Like I said, they do a lot of sponsorship. We don't do that.
We are
maybe we'll get into it later, but right now we do everything on our own. We own everything. We own our chairs. We own our ring. We just pay rent on the venue.
So, tell us a little bit about your show. I mean, what separates you guys from them in terms of the content and what you guys do at the show?
Well, from start, first we are early in the afternoon. Our bell time's at 2 o'clock, and it will done before 5 o'clock. That gives the opportunity to other wrestlers to do second shot somewhere else. We had that in mind. And another thing that we're different from crazy shows is because we are Christian based. We have a pastor coming in, give 5 to 10 minutes message to the fans, do an invocation, and then we go to the show. Not only that, we have one table set up just specifically for fans to, if they want to, we have free Bibles, free kids books related to the Bible,
coupons
for the stores. So, I don't know what they go on, what they do. I just know what we're doing, what we're offering the fans. And another thing that we're offering the fans is zero profanity from the wrestlers. We don't want no profanity. We don't want no alcohol,
no blood and guts kind of stuff. Hardcore, no blood.
Just no blood right now. It's because we're trying not only to attract the regular fans, we're also trying to attract churches from the area. Christian people to come out and enjoy themselves. Without having to have that profanity, that nudity, and anything like that. So I think that's what we're different than what they are. And right now we have been successful in 2 shows.
Well, when is your next show coming up? I know you just had one last weekend. What's the next event coming up for you guys?
The next event coming up is called No Mercy. It's called No Mercy. We're October 15th. Bell time 2 p.m. And the main event is gonna be the Hawaiian Warrior Kikoa versus Tony Costello for the heavyweight title. The semi-main event, it is gonna be Gavin Jackson with the Puerto Rican brothers.
Well, we can probably copy it.
Just go to our page and you'll see the poster though.
Yeah, we'll get the poster and we'll put it in the corner.
I do all those posters.
Nice work. Nice work.
Let me finish this. The second main event is going to be Gavin Jackson with the Puerto Rican brothers against the Sweet Elite of CEO, Brown Sugar Jones, and Louis G. Rich. This 6-man tag, there will be a mystery guest referee, which I will not going to announce until that date. But the best thing of this match is that the winning team of this match is the first team who can handcuff the other team to the ropes.
3 minutes.
Not only they get, so after the winning team handcuff the other team to the ropes, they get a full 3 minutes to beat on those guys.
Wow.
Yes.
That is, I've never heard of anything like that because I watch WWE and WCW and ECW too. I've never heard somebody
look into the 80s.
Yeah,
some of the stuff.
That's just wow. Is there anything else you want to tell folks about your promotion and anything? I mean, going forward, do you guys want to work with Off the Chains? Is there any chance? From what I've seen, you guys are very wonderful folks, reasonable people. I know Shay is, to me, always reasonable whenever I've talked to him. Do you guys ever think of doing maybe a joint promotion for everybody? Because it sounds like you really do take care of the wrestlers and you respect the fans and respect the art. You ever thought about doing something together?
Before I started, that was the plan because I knew they were having issues. I know business very well, and I was willing to give them help to find a place and all that kind of stuff. I just think sometimes you got to know when to just say okay. And we just tend to ignore most everything. there's still things going on. We just had a wrestler, get contacted not long ago, so it's ongoing. Unfortunately, I think if we would ever just stop with all that, of course, as a Christian, you have to forgive. You shouldn't just forget about it. You shouldn't just let people keep attacking you. So, but I don't, like I said, it's not affecting our show, and we're actually in the work to do more things with Rankin Fitness is where we have our shows at. They're really liking what we're doing. They're even coming to our next show, so the owners are coming to the next show. So there's a lot more things in the work. We're just not going to get into it right now.
We're not going to announce, but I can tell you that most of our talent have come from the old Kobe Pro. We have 5 or 6 guys. We also, I don't know if you heard from the Bruiser from MCW.
I've heard of that.
Great guy. Great talent.
He's one of our main guys that when they don't have a show, he's overall as well as some of their students. We have guys that are coming in from Missouri in November. Yes, we are all the way from
as soon as we put up that World Domination, my idea, everybody was calling.
Yeah, we have a lot of talent.
This girl, I gotta admit, I don't know a lot about wrestling, not at all. I know a lot about business, just not about wrestling. So it's really good for us to get together. We have really good ideas, and especially since he's got the 24 years experience and the contacts and the different promoters that he knows. It's been great.
Well, and it sounds like it's really going good, and I want to thank you guys for coming on to the show and sharing your side of the story. So, and that's it, guys. Thank you.
Let's hope in the future going forward that everybody can just live and let live. There sounds like you're not
good
really
time.
competing, and let's just pray for a happy ending in this case.
Yes.
Yeah, amen.
All right, guys. Have a great one. Thank you again.
Thank you guys.
Well, folks, that's our show for this week. We want to thank the folks at World Domination Wrestling Alliance for coming on and sharing their story. Don't forget to thumb up this video, comment, and like us on Facebook. And as always, later days.